Hi, welcome to In a Pickle Knitting and the final episode of Some Bunny Loves You. My name is Donna. I'm coming to you from Manassas, Virginia, and today is, I think, Tuesday, April 15th, 2020. The final episode here I will announce at the very end. I will put up the name of the person who won the mini skeins of yarn. I'm choosing that from people who commented on episode 4. I did forget to do it before I started recording. I just saw the yarn back over here and I thought I better make sure that I announce it. So I will be sure and put your name at the end and then contact me by email at inapickleknitting@gmail.com, and then we will work out some shipping arrangements and I can find out your name and address information. Please do not put it in comments. Be sure and send it as a private email. So my final project today is bunny related. It is a bunny and it came from this book, 60 Quick Knitted Toys. This is a Cascade Yarns book. They make a lot of 60 books that have 60 different on a particular theme objects. Well, this is all toys, and I saw the bunny on the cover and wanted to make this cute bunny. I did not make him gray because I did not have any gray yarn. I made him a sweater, but I did not do the stranded yarn technique because of needing a lot of colors. 1, 2, I really want to put that kind of time into a toy. Sorry. And it was already taking me super long to get it done. And 3, my color work's not my favorite thing because I'm not very good at it. So I will do it. I like to do it. I like what you get out of it, but I prefer to save that for another project. So without further ado, I will show you my bunny. I'm not thrilled with this mouth thing because that was the shaping to make the face come out. But I just think it kind of looks strange. Theirs looks cuter. See there, they did a better job on the embroidery. I might take the mouth out and do that again. I did it with a double strand, and I think maybe a single would have looked nicer, but that's pretty easy to take out. So I made him a green sweater. This is Cascade 220. The blue pants are Cascade 220. The ears are Cascade 220, but the brown body part is Ella Rae Superwash Classic Wool, which is pretty much the same thing as the Cascade 220. It has like a yard less in yardage for the 100 grams, which is not going to change anything for the size that everything turns out. So they worked well together is what I'm trying to say so poorly. I did put pom-pom tail on the back. I first made a little bit too large of a pom-pom and decided to go smaller. So the first pom-pom, I used a Clover pom-pom maker, was made on the green one, and that I felt like was too big. So the final one turned out that size, which I think fits his body better, and I used this color one, the yellowish color one, to make a pom-pom. And I always like making pom-poms with these. I think they make great pom-poms, but every single time I have to go back on YouTube and find a YouTube to tell me how to make it because it doesn't stick with me. If I made a lot of them in a row, maybe it would be easier. I always forget that you pull the pieces out this way and wrap around this one, put it back together, cut, and then tie your strings around and pull it apart. That's in a nutshell how to do it. But I always forget that because I just don't make enough of them, and I have to sit and watch one and say, oh yeah, that's how to do it. But in the end, out of 100 grams of that brown color yarn, this is all I have left. These 2 little balls and this pom-pom. So out of 100 grams, you pretty well needed all of it. And that was just the body. Now the body comes down to here, and then you started knitting the pants. So I'm going to tell you just very frankly what things I did not like about this pattern. And one is that it's right here. You can see the jog because they put that on the front. You could very easily have had that happen on the back where it looks nice and straight, okay? But at the time you're doing it, you're following the pattern. You're doing what they say to do. So that didn't really work out so well. This is what took a long time for me. I made the body, did this part, and that seemed to take a while. And then you actually close the body off and sewed the legs on. So closing the legs off, I started off doing what they said to do, which was a 3-needle bind off, and I wasn't liking the way it was. And I thought, why didn't they just do a Kitchener? So I said, I'm just going to take these stitches out that I have so far, and I'm going to do a Kitchener. And I dropped some stitches when I did that, and there were slip stitches in there, and also I kind of made a mess for myself. Got it all put back on, and I did Kitchener. It closed. Then I started one leg, and that leg, I think 2 to 3 days, it sat there. I got a little bit done, and I just could not make myself go back and do it. It just seemed to take me forever. I even made it half an inch shorter than it's supposed to be. The legs are supposed to be half an inch longer. But then, and so what I did was, I had this one leg. I said, I'm not doing another one of those legs right now. I did the ears. I did one ear and one arm. Then I did the other ear, the other arm, and finally I was left with nothing else to do but the leg. So I did, and that one went really fast. I don't know why. It's something about that small circumference and doing these slip stitches, and every other row was different, and I'd forget what row I was on, and I'd have to look behind every single time. So I just got frustrated. Then I made the sweater. Now the sweater, I used their stitch counts, the number of stitches to cast on, etc. Maybe because the body is done in the stranded color work, that usually pulls your knitting in a bit. But I ended up with a sweater that kind of bunches out on both sides, and I don't really like that. I'm thinking about turning it inside out and just machine stitching a seam and cutting it open like a steak, and I think it might fit tighter, but really it doesn't need to be any different. The other thing I didn't like particularly, I didn't mind doing it, but was making the ears, because they had you make them into 2 parts and sew them together, and I just think you could have done it in the round. It would have been faster, I think, and easier, but they didn't have you do it that way. So anyway, that was cute. I didn't feel like the pattern gave you a whole lot of direction as to when you're working across here so that you don't have gaps. I mean, it's a simple little technique of, you're just twisting and always coming with your yarn from under, but there wasn't a word mentioned, so you already would have to have known that, and I felt like the pattern should have mentioned it. There was a rada in the pattern, one thing that wasn't corrected that was easy to catch, and I don't remember what the other thing was, but you do have to always check patterns from these books to make sure there is no errata, and of course sometimes you forget to do that. They did a really cute thing. They duplicate stitched a little heart on his chest. I didn't do that just because I actually forgot, and I might do it later. So this is a little bunny. He's pretty cute, I think. Very soft. I know my grandson will love him. He loves soft things and stuffed animals a lot. So that was my final project, and it took me it took me a really long time to finish it. Now, our final book. No bunny book collection would be complete without including a Beatrix Potter. I have a collection of Beatrix Potter books, and it includes 2 of my favorite stories. The Tale of Peter Rabbit, which is the very first story, and The Tale of Benjamin Bunny. I like both of those stories because they're actually connected, being related little rabbits, and Peter is in The Tale of Benjamin Bunny. Benjamin Bunny's not in The Tale of Peter Rabbit. But both of these stories, I don't even feel like I have to say anything about them because they're such classics. Anything from Beatrix Potter is fairly classic, but absolutely favorites. I think I've read A Tale of Peter Rabbit 80 times, most likely, between my daughter and my grandson. They've just been much loved and well read. So that's all I have for you with the Some Bunny Loves You. I may be back sometime in the little bit of the future with some regular In a Pickle Knitting episodes, but my crafting, I just don't really have anything to show. I'm still working on my Battenberg blanket. throughout filming all of these episodes. I have done no work on that because I've been working on the other projects, and especially this guy who really took me a long time to finish. So I have not had any time whatsoever to work on my Battenberg blanket, but hopefully I will finish that and then maybe pick up some other projects. So at that time I may be back with you. I've enjoyed doing this. I hope you enjoyed hearing about some new bunny books, or maybe just remembering some old bunny books, as of course Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny would have been. I thank you so much for all of your nice comments and for sticking with me and being patient with me to get back here to finish this series up. But we are finished now, and I will put a page here that will show the winner's name of those mini skeins, and I'll get them in the mail to you just as soon as life permits here. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.